In three, two, one. What's going on, folks? Welcome to 34 Questions. I'm your host, 34, and tonight I have a very special guest. Dustin is in the building. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. It's been a long time since I've seen you. It's been a couple years, and I'm glad we finally got to get a chance to catch up again.
It's been a couple years, man, and I guess it's been a couple years for a lot of us because we've been separated for so long, but now we getting back. We getting back in the flow,
Yeah. It's been rough. It's been rough for a lot of people, and just being thankful for the knowledge that has come out, and also for the people that have been standing up for a lot of this injustice and indifference, and it's crazy, man. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy time.
See, I'll tell you this right off the bat, man. That's the one thing I do appreciate about you is that you take things in with the lens of a bigger picture. I feel like you always kind of see the bigger picture more so than other folks. But so I just want to let you know I appreciate that about you.
Thank you.
Before we get rolling,
I don't necessarily look at it like that. I mean, sometimes I don't know. We'll get into it later, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, we all think that we're different, and we all are. And we are all different in our own minds and our own sight, right? When we look in the mirror, we're just like, damn, I'm a different motherfucker than all these other people, right? And we are. But that's the uniqueness, and that's the beauty of it, and you got to embrace it, man. And some people aren't going to like you. But if you stay true to yourself, man, it doesn't matter, dude. Doesn't matter.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, let's get it.
Before we get rolling, I do need to introduce the show. So for the folks out there who are unfamiliar with the flow of the show, we do some intro questions, some warm-up questions just to set the tone. After that, we'll jump into the questions where you could either choose your destiny or go to the wheel of fate. You can make up your mind when we get there. And then after that, we have some concluding questions in the final stretch. Sound good to you, Dustin?
Absolutely. Let's get it.
All right, man. First question for you is, how have you been? You mentioned I haven't seen you in a couple years. From then to now, you've been doing well. You've been doing great. How you been, man?
It's kind of hard to speak about, how you've been when a whole lot of other people have been, pretty bad off, and to, just to try to answer the question as plainly as possible. I mean, I'm surviving, man. Things have been good. I've been working in the SROs, the drug and alcohol counselor now. I am very honored to have met and to continue to meet individuals who others would look at in a different light, and look lesser at, and look down on. I like it because, it gives me a chance to hear people's stories. And that, to me, if the world and other people who just went their days, we walk by hundreds of people every day, and we do not know their names. We don't know their stories. We don't know where they're from. And a lot of people don't give a shit. That's cool. But if you look at it in a different way, that if we actually got to know somebody and to listen to their story, we might look at them different, and look at them in a more kind manner, and understand that, damn, they're going through some shit too. I thought I was the only one, because we never are the only ones. We just got, we all feel the same feelings. We just got different paths that we've taken in different, circumstances. So other than that, life's been good. Me and Ruth have been, fabulous. We've been married for over 3 years now, and it's beautiful, man. It's a good thing. So I'm happy and humbled and grateful for the things that I have. Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear you doing well. I gotta ask you though, I applaud you for working or doing the work that you do, and working with the community. I do want to ask if, you listen to so many stories, you get to know so many people. Is that ever like a weight on you? Does it ever kind of feel heavy sometimes? In your opinion?
Most of the time it is, but you try to take yourself out of it. You don't want to personalize the information that somebody else is talking about. You don't want to turn it on yourself and start thinking about you. Listen to that other individual. Hear that person out and understand where they're coming from without thinking about things that happen to you and how there. I just think there's a way to differentiate between understanding somebody and putting yourself in their shoes. I think there's just a little bit of a fence there. It's not too big of a fence, but it should be and can be separated. But it's definitely hard sometimes because as hard as you are as we are on ourselves, when you hear somebody else talk about the things that they've gone through, whether it be everything and anything from abuse, any kind of abuse, abandonment, it just takes on a different connotation, man. It takes on a different tone, and you really develop soft spots in your heart for people. And it's not just for that individual per se, but it just becomes for everybody, because then you understand that this isn't the only person out here. First, you thought I was the only one going through shit in life. And then I heard somebody else going through some shit in life. And now I'm like, well, if I'm not the only one, everybody must be going through some stuff. And, when I realized that, yeah, man, I really enjoy people now. I didn't for a very long time, but lately I have. I really do. Yeah. So.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Michelle, let's move on to some warm-up questions.
All right.
And my first warm-up question for you is, what would you like the audience to know about you?
It's a good one. Don't ever judge a book by its cover. I mean, I know that in today's day and age, older white guys, we're not the business. We are not the business, man. We are not the business. And the thing about it is, I born and raised here, so we'll get into that. I did get to experience, hate on a pretty heavy level amongst people where I was at, but I'm not the person that is going to allow indifference to take place and just sit back and watch and pull my phone out and video it. Somebody else can video it, but I need to go try to stop that. That's the kind of person that I am. I don't condone that. So yeah. But in a nutshell, man, I'm just a cool guy, man. I just like to laugh. I like to be happy. I have enough things to be depressed and sad and angry about in life, as we all do. But some days are easier and harder than others. But just try to be thankful for the time that I have right now. Little things I admire more. So yeah.
Sure, man. My second question for you is, if someone were to pay you a tribute, how would you like to be honored? So if I was going to tell myself today I'm going to do an act in the honor of Dustin, what could I do for you, man?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I think that I would just like to be known as just a guy who went through some shit, and that shit had a hold of him for the better part of almost 40 years. And I turned out to be a different individual. Just my tribute, is that people who have been places, and not just, casually, just a one-time thing. I'm talking, this is years in the making. Yeah, I just want to be known as a guy that did the best that he could late in life, not early in life. I just lived it for me, but now I'm not, I had my time, and now I have, I got a wife, I got a son, and, I got priorities now. I have to do things for other individuals instead of just myself, so.
For sure, man. For sure. Is there anything like, for I could do it for you though? Like, would you like me to, hear a person's story out, or, try to uplift someone? I don't know. What I feel like that's something you would want me to do.
Yeah. The only thing that I would say is just, two things that I try to live every day with. Well, technically three. One is trying to learn something new every day. And it doesn't matter how small or minute it is. Just learn something new every day, because I just think the day goes by that you ain't learned nothing is a day wasted. You ain't did nothing. You ain't learned nothing, The other one would be just, don't keep knowledge for yourself. It's selfish. Because how did you learn what you learned? You learned it from somebody else. You didn't learn it just by yourself. You picked up a book. If you read the book by yourself, doesn't mean that, that book was given at some point in time to the world and you picked it up. It doesn't matter really what it is. Just don't keep stuff to yourself, man, because, the old cliche is, knowledge is key, but, man, it is so true. Don't keep things to yourself. Let other people, give it to them, let them choose whether or not they accept it or they take it, and they take a little piece out here or there, and, they apply it to their life, throw out the rest. It doesn't matter. It's just, everybody can learn. You can always take something out of whatever it is, whatever experience it is, whatever knowledge, whatever, and you can apply it to your life, and you can learn something from. So yeah, just don't hold knowledge back. Give it to the people, but give it to the youngsters first, because they're the ones who really, really need it. You know what I mean? Us old folks, we, a lot of us are stuck in our ways, man. You can tell us, we can say, oh, I'm very open-minded. But as soon as somebody tells it to us, man, that shit's going in one ear and out the other. It is. And the sad part is that, if you give the knowledge to the kids first, man, who knows? You know what I mean? Just one word can change somebody's entire life. You know what I mean? At any given time, it doesn't matter. You can say something to somebody and they can go in and out one ear, and then the next thing you know, 20 years down the road, you're sitting in a dark corner somewhere and you're just fighting some demons, and that sentence or whatever they had said will pop into your head, and you'll be like, where the fuck did I hear that from? And you'll go on this tangent, like trying to figure out where you heard it from. And then you'll finally remember, and you'll be like, shit. And you never know, man. You just might latch onto it, and it could change literally a life. So yeah, knowledge, man. Don't hold it. Give it.
I appreciate that you dropping knowledge on us right there. That wisdom, a nugget of wisdom. You made me think of something, and you could tell me how it sounds. I think it sounds dope. But you mentioned knowledge is key, And would that make sharing knowledge like liberation, or not liberation, but just, or in my mind, I was thinking if knowledge is power, so sharing knowledge is empowerment. Like, you're empowering people when you share knowledge. So yeah, that's that phrase.
Yeah,
sticks
definitely.
Out of my head.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, hey, just really quick, man, Kobe said some shit that I usually have on my wall in my offices. It's usually right on my door. And he had said, try to create an environment where people can be great in whatever they want to do. And there's so much in that you could take off, man. I mean, and it's about them, create an environment for somebody where they can be great in whatever they want to do. Not what you want them to do, not what I want them to do, but whatever they want to do, whatever it is, and that's kind of what I try to do at work, is I just try to create that environment where people can thrive and be the best versions of themselves, whatever that version is, whether it's to continue using dope or whatever their vices are. I'm not here to tell you to stop, right? I'm just here to give you some knowledge and you make the decision based on that. I'm just here to give you some knowledge and some insight based on my experience, and you can take it or leave it. But the ultimate choice is yours, and you got to be a part of your own rescue. So, yeah.
I got you, man. I got you. And my last question for you in the warm up is, on a scale from 1 to 10, how well do you know yourself?
Now, within, let's say, since in the last, say, 7-8 years, I know myself very well. But for the first part of my life, I had no idea who I was. No idea. I didn't get an opportunity to try to dissect that. I was in the mix, since 7. So I didn't really get a chance, and I had to try to develop that on my own. And it's even with just being a man, you know what I mean, and being a person and just being a father and a husband, I didn't know how to do that shit. I didn't know how to do that. I had no responsibility, didn't care about myself, didn't care about other people. I just wanted that instant gratification. So, nowadays, I'm very thankful for knowing myself, even though I'm still learning every single day. But I know myself pretty damn well now, versus before. So, yeah.
That's what's up. What would you say is your favorite thing about your personality?
My fucking humor. My humor, bro. And it's a curse, bro, because I'm the kind of guy, like, I love comedy, right? I absolutely love comedy, right? But I don't like just any comedy. I like the uncensored shit. I like the I like the no holds barred type shit. I do unfortunately understand that, in comedy, there's no fences, and there's really no holding the tongue. I think that some things shouldn't be kind of joked about, but other things in a lighter manner are funnier than shit to me, and it just is, man. And I like it, man. I like it. Yeah, I like that vulgar. I like that vulgar stuff. I like it when it's down and dirty. Yeah.
Well, just to give me an idea, what's the last thing that you found hilarious? Or like, any show or movie or even a act, a stand-up comedy act?
I mean, yeah. We have a tendency to watch comedy before we go to bed. Like every night, we'll watch somebody's comedy, and it usually goes between Kevin Hart. It goes to Bill Burr, right? That dude is crazy, by the way. If you have never seen that dude, listen, man, let me tell you, I got put on, my boy Tony told me about this one episode about him, and this is probably, this is probably it. He went off on Philadelphia one night. I think it was in Philly. No, maybe it wasn't Philly. It was, I don't know where it was, but he was doing a stand-up show, and people started booing him. So he went in. And when I tell you that he went in, I mean that he went in on the audience, and it was predominantly white. So you get a gist of where he went with this. He let some people have it, and he just kept saying, well, I'm here for an hour, so you got me for another 45 minutes, so we can keep. And he did. He went in with no holds barred, and he went in for quite some time, for literally the entire show. And if you haven't seen it, look it up. You'll only find it on YouTube. It's not on any other shit, because it's been taken down almost everywhere, because it's foul, bro. He let him have it, and that was probably the funniest shit that I've ever seen.
Do I just type in Bill Burr goes in? What should I do?
Just Bill Burr goes off on audience.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. But yeah. I'm sure I could find it. But Dave just hit me.
Oh, you good, man? You good?
Yeah. So yeah. I'll look it up and I'll send it to you. It's hard to find though, because it has been taken down from like all of the videos. I think you'll only find somebody's video of it that they took.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was bad. It was bad. He said a lot of shit that was great, but yeah.
That's what's up, man.
But yeah, it's the humor, bro. I love it. I love laughing, and a lot of people don't understand the humor sometimes. I got that he is not funny, or I'm either hilarious. It's never like in between. So
yeah, we're not for everybody, man. That's why, like, the different shows attract different people. I know for me, have you seen Ted Lasso?
No, I have not.
You heard of it though?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I just binge watched like the first season in 2 days, man. It was that good. It was 10 episodes only, so it's quick, 30 minutes each. If it sounds like I'm pitching it, but nah, man, it was dope. What have you heard of it, like, as far as the story goes?
I haven't really. I just heard that it's funnier than shit.
Okay.
I haven't really like heard a lot. I don't really know too much about it all, to be honest. I think that I've like come across it when we've tried to watch stuff, but we never did. But yeah, so it's probably one of the hidden gems that's out there.
Just a quick little synopsis, because I think you'll dig it, and this is me trying to get you to watch it. But it's this dude who is a Division II college football coach in the States, and he wins a championship, and then he gets chosen to coach a Premier League football team in the UK or whatever. He has no knowledge of the sport at all. So like, yeah, he basically, it's just those hijinks of him going over there coaching the team. But he is the nicest guy in the world. That's what makes it stand out, is that... Oh,
it's Jason Sudeikis.
Yes, it's him.
Dude, I love that dude. I love his movies, bro. But his I like him. Yeah, yeah. I'm on that. Yeah. I'm on that.
Check that one out. But for sure, man. Well, we made it to the question portion where you start choosing numbers. You choosing your fate, or we go into the Wheel of Destiny, or Wheel of Fate. Damn.
I'm going for the Wheel of Fate, bro. Destiny, fate, whatever it is. I want all the smoke, man. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, here we go. The first spin.
All right.
If there's any question that you feel like you want to pass on, feel free. But I think you'll do pretty well. So this first one is 29 medium, and
29 medium.
Your question is, what is out of your control?
other people's decisions, other people's choices, other people's way of life. That's not a decision that I am privy to, nor should I be. If somebody comes to somebody and wants some guidance, that's one thing. But to tell people how to live their lives, nah, I'm not here to tell anybody how to live their life. I'm just here to give you some knowledge based on my experience. And the ultimate decision is up to you. That what should I do? I don't like that question. What should I do? Because if you tell somebody what to do and they do it and it doesn't turn out, then they're gonna look at you in a different way. Like, oh fuck, dude, you gave me some wrong guidance, dude. I can't trust you, right? But at the same time, like I said, the ultimate decision is yours, man. That's completely out of my control. Giving somebody some knowledge and some guidance is one thing, but actually telling somebody that they have to do this in order to do this, nah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. I've definitely been in, like, for me, anytime I have to give advice, I always give the disclaimer that, this is just coming from my personal experience, coming from my perspective, because you're right. Like, there's some kind of responsibility comes with when you give advice, because they're going to look at you like, if it works out, great. They're turning to you, thanking you. But it goes out wrong, they're like, well, fuck you, like,
yeah.
That's how it happens.
And you got to tell them, you got to let them know, hey, look, man, I'm just, I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm not saying that it isn't or that it is. I'm just saying that, but be prepared that, it ain't going to happen and it ain't going to work. So, just because somebody says something, a lot of people take it as a golden ticket, and man, dude, it doesn't always work out like that. And a lot of friendships have been lost and love for people have been lost like that. And I don't want that, man. That's out of my control. Yeah. I don't even want that control. I've got enough problems trying to run my own life. Shit, I'm not trying to be telling you how to live your life. Shit. So,
for sure, man. Yeah, I think we all kind of feel that way. On the flip side, well, what is something that is in your control?
What is in my control? My thoughts, the way that I treat people, the way that I react to things, things that come out of my mouth, what is in my heart. I do have, some things that are in my control, and that's basically, just me. I shouldn't want or have control over anything or any other individual at any point in time, but yeah, that's within my control, and I like it. I like being able to make my own decisions. Because for a very long time, I wasn't able to make mine. I was being told what to do. And it's a really good feeling that, when you come to that point where I don't want to be told what to do anymore. You know what I mean? I want to be able to tell myself what to do and when to do it and how to do it. But I understand that, I got to think about what I'm doing at the same time. What are the consequences? Should I be doing this or should I not be doing this? So, yeah.
And, things under your control, like the decisions you're making, now you have your family to consider, right? With everything that you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, I see you dressed up in all, the sports teams.
Yes, sir.
Gotta ask, are you originally from the Bay, or did you come out here?
Absolutely.
Oh, where?
No. I was born in the East Bay, and then I came out to the city in 89, 90, and then I didn't actually get back to the city until I decided to finish my tour of sorts.
I got you.
Yeah, until about 99, and then I've been here ever since, man. I love it. No other place on earth that I'd rather be, boy. Woof, man. I've been some places vacationing and shit, bro. And man, dude, people don't understand. We are a different breed out here, man. People don't understand the Bay out here. They don't.
I was gonna ask, how do you think the Bay is different from other places?
The vibe. I mean, everybody has every city has their own vibe, right? But a lot of time the vibe is the same, right? Especially when you're not in, a metropolitan city, you know what I mean? A big city. When you're in a smaller city, a lot of shit's the same. You don't have a lot of places to go. You do a lot of things. You go to a lot of clubs or, a lot of little parties or whatever. But out here, man, I don't know, man, between the music and just, the people who were born and raised here, for those of us who've seen, the city change and just, go from popping spot to, gentrification city, man. You know what I mean? And, and some things are good, but, a lot of it isn't, man. A lot of it isn't. And a lot of things get pushed out. But yeah, man, I think I think the reason why we're so different is because a lot of it has to do with just the people and the music and like I said, the vibe. Because, most of our music is, through the hyphy movement and shit. It was jumping, man. It was about being happy and embracing shit and just, coming together, and I don't know, man. To me, a lot of, the rap everywhere else and hip hop everywhere else is, shoot 'em up, bang, bang. This is what I got. This is what you don't have and everything else. And I'm not saying that's not a bad thing, but I think that, I don't know, man. It's just, and the diversity of the people, man. The diversity of the people, bro. I mean, if you go places like New York and stuff, yeah, but everybody is, all their little boroughs and stuff, everybody's different. You know what I mean? Everybody's kind of sticking together, though, at the same time. But here it's like, bro, we all kick it, bro. Everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody from Usos to Filipinos to just, you know what I mean? White dudes, black dudes, Asians. It doesn't matter, bro. We can all get together on a Friday or even on a Tuesday. It don't even matter, And I think that it's the people, man. We I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to explain, man. But we're just a different breed, bro. We are.
Yeah, man. I'm with you, because the more I meet people from other places, like I remember I went to Toronto, Canada, and someone was like, "Oh, you have are you from the Bay Area, huh?" And I'm like, "How do you know?" And they're like, "You got that Bay accent or whatever." And I didn't even know we had one, right? I guess it's, maybe it was the Hellas. Who knows how I was talking. Yeah. But
if you say hella anywhere else, like, people either are gonna know that you're from the Bay Area, or they're gonna be like, "What do you say? What?" And what? But most of the time it's like, especially with the younger population, if you say hella, you're like, okay, yeah, I know where you're from. Yeah.
It's funny with the word hella. You ever hear it in like mainstream like movies or TV shows, and it just doesn't sound right. It just isn't delivered like it feels so forced sometimes,
It does because that's not a word that originated in, you know what I mean, in the entertainment world. I mean, well, in that type of entertainment, you know what I mean, in television and shit like that. Yeah. That didn't happen, man. That happened out here. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's probably why.
I got you. Let's spin the wheel again. Here we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, you dodged the hard one right there. Too easy.
Too easy.
What would you say is your natural talent?
Natural talent?
Yeah, man.
I mean, honestly, it's the craziest shit. The only thing that I can think of is like talent-wise. I mean, I have been able to spin a basketball on my finger since I was probably 6. And I mean, like, I can go for quite some time.
You got that?
I can bounce it off my look, bro. I perfected some shit, bro. I was able to, pop it off my fist and put it back on the finger, and then I started going, well, let me see what else I can bounce off. I tried to do it off the ground, and the ground kind of stops the spin, so it's hard to do. Was able to do it off the shoulder a couple times. Then I got it off the knee. Then I was able to put it on pencils and in the mount. I don't know, man. I just was able to do that since I was a kid for some reason, man. And it never served any purpose whatsoever. Never did me any good. Never. So I was never able to really wow somebody with it. It's even my family, they were like, oh, cool. But yeah, it never served a purpose. But I just, even probably to this day, I haven't done it in years, but I could probably still do it to this day. Yeah, definitely.
I would eventually. I'd want to see that one time. Not right now.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
One day, I want to see if you still got it.
I ain't got no basketball either, so yeah.
Nah, man, because I can't do it. I can't even spin a fucking basketball on my finger, dude. Like, it's just, I tried, like I play basketball. Every time I do it on my finger, it just comes off, or I can't keep the rotation, whatever. But if you got that, you got that.
I don't know. I could switch fingers, all my fingers, and it's just weird, bro. I just have always been able to do this.
Yeah, man.
Thing, whatever it is. I mean, like I said, it doesn't even serve a purpose. I've never been able to wow somebody or to show somebody, hey, look what I can do, right? And when I was a kid, I always wanted to. I was, people got to see this, man. They don't even understand what I am capable of doing with a basketball. And never.
Man, you could have been Harlem Globetrotting, dog,
Fuck, dude, who knows, bro? Shit. Yeah.
You gotta try out the plates. I don't know if you got any plastic plates you could, because if you could do a basketball.
Yeah, plastic. Yeah, the wifey will kill me if I start breaking plates. And, yeah, she ain't gonna like that.
That's in your back pocket, bro. Like, let's say you're working with the youth, they think you got no game, and you spin that ball on your finger, they gonna think you the shit.
Yeah, right. Old ass white guy coming up talking shit, right? Yeah.
Who knows? Out of all the sports, man, which one's your favorite?
Man, growing up, it was football. But then, I started playing basketball, and it'll always be basketball, man. It'll always be hoops. I love sports, period. I love the game of sport. I love the competition. I love the energy. I love the emotion, whether it's winning or losing. When the Giants won their first World Series, where I cried like a baby, bro. I was like, sheesh, man, this is awesome. You know what I mean? And then they won quite a few more. And then the Warriors won 3, that was special. And then the Niners, went to the Super Bowl a few times over the last 10. Yeah, and, it never worked out. But honestly, it's just the emotion of the game, man. It's a fabulous thing. And it's great because a lot of people go their whole lives without seeing their teams win a championship. You know what I mean? And if you are a fan and not just somebody who goes to the game on a Wednesday to go have drinks and bullshit during the whole game, it's a great feeling. It really is. It's cool. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. When your sports team win, man, it's like you feel that energy in your city, or like even between folks, like me and you, like we see the Warriors win, that vibe, it just carries us through, like
Yeah,
it's a wave.
It does. And it's weird because even 2 years ago, last time I saw you 2 years ago at the Niner game, we lost that game, right? We lost that game at the end, but when everybody left, everybody was just happy as shit. We didn't care. right? And that's the vibe. I'm not going out there to go, burn shit down just because I lost a game. You know what I mean? I mean, that don't make no sense to me. But yeah, man, the emotion of sport, man, and the game of sporting events is pretty cool. I like it.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
You ever think about getting season tickets?
I thought about it. I really did, but wait, to who?
Well, just in general. I was just wondering.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not the Niners. I ain't gonna lie, man. Them going down to Santa Clara, bro, that was crazy, dude. I mean, how the hell did we get to Santa Clara? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just absurd, dude. Now the A's are gonna fucking probably around leave Oakland too. I mean, man, Oakland can't keep a team, unfortunately.
That's crazy to me too, man. How everyone's leaving Oakland, but
that's I don't know, man. I think there's some shit going on, but I think they just realized that maybe if we get rid of sports, we won't have some of the stuff that goes on. I don't know. Who knows? You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, but I did think about season tickets for the Warriors, and maybe the Giants. I split season tickets about 4 years ago with a friend of mine for the Giants, and it was cool. That's when when they weren't shit again, but we were going every game, and it's fun.
That's cool, man. I mean, I'm not saying now, not this season, but maybe eventually. I would love to find a group to split season tickets with, and just kind of
definitely
be able to choose which games or whatever. But yeah,
hit me up
in the future.
Definitely.
In the future, we'll be talking about
most
that.
Definitely, yeah.
Cool, man. Let's. Before we go do another spin, wanted to ask you, what's been your greatest personal sports moment? So in the sense that when you were playing, it could be just like backyard football or just a pickup rec game of basketball, but for you, what was the day you were in the zone, you was feeling it, maybe you had a highlight here and there? Do you remember at all?
Okay, so in some places that I've been, I was never really able to play a lot of organized sports growing up. I wasn't in the right place in society to play organized sports per se. I did play a couple years of basketball in high school, played a year of baseball, but softball was a really a big game to me, and I was good at it. And I remember, diving for a ball that was in the outfield, won the game. And I mean, it just saved the game. I mean, I didn't win it. I just happened to make a catch. I mean, I didn't do nothing special. But I mean, it was that moment that it's when. When somebody can look at you and be like, "Hey, thanks, man. Right on, dude. Good job." Right. And it seems so petty to us, but being recognized for something is a good feeling, no matter how small or minute it is. You know what I mean? If somebody, I have a tendency to always try to appreciate people, and to tell people that I appreciate them. And a lot of times, people probably don't understand it, but a lot of times we go through life and we're not appreciated for the things that we do. And not that we're looking for appreciation from another individual, but it doesn't hurt either. It actually feels pretty damn good to have somebody say, "Hey, man, I just want to say I appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And, I admire it,
Yeah.
And, like I said, it's a good feeling, no matter who you are, how hard you think you are, or, how much validation you do not need. It still feels good. So, yeah.
For sure, man. For sure. Just a heads up, we have about 10-15 minutes left in the interview. Want to thank you again for coming on and sharing your story, man. Been a blessing for me, and I hope you've been enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm finally glad we got to sit down, man. This has been months in the making. Like what, 4 months maybe?
Yeah, man, way back. But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
You're
way
here
back.
now.
Yeah. I was like, all right, man, we're good. Oh man, sorry. Schedule changed here, schedule changed there, and things happen. Well, it's life. So yeah.
We even had a 1 day delay. You know, this was supposed to happen yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
Here we go, boss. Where we at? 31 easy.
too easy.
So this one I think you'll dig, because I know you pay attention to the world as a whole. But what changes have you seen the world go through?
Man. I think that now I've seen, I'm 48, man. So, I've seen a lot of things happen, as like little pockets of incidences, anywhere between, 9/11 to, the Iraqi war, fucking war on drugs. And by the way, drugs won that. But all that doesn't even matter. I think what matters is what's going on right now. And if I could, pick a point in life that had more meaning than anything, it would probably be within the last 2 years since George Floyd. And just because a lot of people, choose to not see what the hell is going on in life. They choose to turn a blind eye to things. And a lot of people, even today, are still fighting it, even though they know that it's going on. Systemic racism, the injustices that have been handed down for centuries since this country was taken, not formed, but taken. It's really great to see a lot of people standing up for the injustices that are happening and a lot of the indifference. And even myself, I'm learning things that I had no clue about. Everywhere, just, about systemic racism and how deep it goes. I mean, you can go, I just was reading some stuff the other day about, the highways and how, the highways were built in certain areas, and at certain, widths and how wide they were. They were actually shrunken in certain places because black folks rode buses, and buses couldn't go on them roads because they were too big. Everywhere between that and putting highways and streets right next to, impoverished neighborhoods. Train tracks and shit. I mean, people got trains going through their neighborhoods. What the hell? But yeah, I just think the world as a whole, it really needs to get its shit together. just to put it bluntly. I mean, a lot of times, things are just swept under the rug, man, and you don't really understand, the things that have been happening. And I didn't either. I was ignorant to a lot of shit. And that just comes, from growing up with people who shield you from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now that, I'm a very open-minded individual, and I don't have hate in my heart. I have a lot of dislike for certain things. I'm like I said, I'm an older white guy, man. We ain't the shit. but the thing about it is that I have no problem with telling white people about themselves either. I don't. every single day. I do not mind. You know, if you're being indifferent to somebody and you're just being rude and foul, I don't care who you are. I'm gonna let you have it, because maybe you'll understand that if somebody else is telling you that you shouldn't do something, you know, and you don't take their word for it. Well, maybe if I tell you, since you think that, you know, that color matters, you know, but I'm not on your side. You know, I'm not on your side, but I will let you know about yourself in a heartbeat, you know. But, and I just think that, like I said, man, more people should be doing that, you know. Let somebody else film it, man. But if you see somebody, you know, disrespecting somebody or, you know, assaulting somebody, if 20 people ran over there and surrounded that one individual, I bet you he would stop.
Yeah.
I bet you he would. I bet you if everybody spoke up in a group instead of just one individual, hey, stop, don't do that, right? That ain't gonna do shit. So, yeah, I just think that more people should step in and put into practice what they so-called preach, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you don't condone that, then when you see it, don't turn a blind eye and say, I don't want to get involved, you know, because that's the reason why we're in this predicament that we are in right now, is people don't want to get involved, you know? So by all means, live your life, but, you know, don't spread the message of love and all inclusiveness when you're not even gonna stand up for it. So I don't know. That's just me.
I got you. This is a hard one, but if you were gonna choose one issue that society should focus on first, which one would you want us to look at first?
I mean, without stating the obvious of racism. I mean, that's shit. That alone could really just break down so many barriers. I mean, just on every level, from financial to just human kindness to housing to just everything can be broken down by that, because there's so much hate, right? And it's hard to get rid of that hate, right? Especially when, it's hard to apologize for hate in your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to apologize for racism, right? You can't just say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that or anything. Yeah, you did mean to say it, because that's in your heart.
Yeah.
That is something that it's not like saying, hey, fuck you, man, right? And then going, you know what? I apologize for saying that. You know what I mean? I was just pissed off or whatever. You know what I mean? You didn't deserve that. And you know what I mean? You know, I ask your forgiveness. You can't do that with racism, bro. You can't. I'm sorry. It just, for me, you cannot apologize for being racist. Can't. Because it's deep in your heart. Right? And it's not necessarily your fault that it's in your heart, right?
Yeah.
Because you were brought up like that. You know what I mean? You were shielded from a lot of things, and you heard a lot of rhetoric in your life and about certain individuals, and you carried that through your life. You know what I mean? But I don't think you can apologize for saying something that is so hurtful. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like homophobic slurs. I don't. It's hard to apologize for it, but I think that you can apologize easier for that than you can for racism. And I know that might sound weird, but the reason why I say that is because a lot of language that we heard growing up, it was just spit out there. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessary. It was a bad thing because we used it in a negative form. We used it to hurt somebody. But at the same time, it I don't know. It just it has a different meaning than like saying some racist shit, man. I mean, that is, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But for me, I just don't think you can apologize for just so much hate in your heart, right? Especially if you know better. Especially if you know about some shit, right? You're knowledgeable about some things, and you still want to be that way. Absolutely fine. But are you gonna accept apology from, a skinhead who attacks a black guy on the street with racial slurs? Are you going to accept his apology? Absolutely not, man, because that's that dude's life. You know what I mean? That's his thought process. You know?
Yeah.
As foul and fucked up as it is, that's his, and you're not going to change that, right? But I just think that it's hard to, racism, man. And racism would just, it would just cure a lot of things, man. It really would. And just being people with people, and just being kind to one another and just understanding that, man, we're not different, man. Just because we look different don't mean we're different. We've been through some different shit, but we've all felt the same feelings. Yeah. Feelings don't change. The situations do, but feelings don't. Anger, depression, sadness, anything we've all felt it, right? We've all felt the same things. We just felt them on a different, because of a different scenario. So you take the scenario out and we understand that we felt the same thing, and then we can focus on that. Because that's where the issues lie, is our feelings get in the way, and people don't understand that we work off our feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
dog, you made me realize that even emotions came before words. Like with the earliest people, we were feeling shit before we could communicate how we felt, right? And I think we still have a problem with that. But yeah, that's a trip, man. I do agree with you that racism can't be apologized for. I think for me, because I try to be an understanding person, and I try to give a person an opportunity to redeem themselves, right? Some redemption.
Yeah.
So it's damn, from in my mind, if it ever came to that, I'm telling myself that how much time could I give a person to change, or to prove to me that they're taking it seriously and that they do want to change for themselves? I don't know. I just wanted to throw that thought out there because that crossed my mind while you were speaking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a trip, man. That's a trip.
Yeah.
And if we got rid of racism, man, I almost feel like it should be as big as all prejudice, but that's hard, because then after racism, would we start doing income, oh, you're poor, I'm rich, and
and that's what I meant by that. Racism, it would tackle it, it's up here on top of the pyramid, man, and everything else is just,
part of it.
Everything else is just, icing on the cake. That's the pinnacle. That would allow people to look at people a lot differently and to treat people a lot differently, and then. If you're treating people differently, you're not going to have all this other crap. You know what I mean? Because if you're always trying to get over on somebody because of sexuality, skin color, financial status, religious beliefs, man, you're doing more harm than good, man. Because you're too busy trying to analyze everybody else, and fuck, we're all different, man. But that's the beauty. We're not that different. Just because we look different, everything else is the same.
Yeah, man.
Take the skin off. You take the skin off of every single person, and guess what? We all look the goddamn same.
when we're
truly
no
naked. Different.
Yeah.
We're fucking naked. Dude, we're all the same. Just take away the look. Stop judging people on the way that they look, and start judging people on their character and how they interact with people and how they, go about their daily lives,
Yeah, man.
Dude, just stop treating people like shit, Yeah. It is, man. It's as simple as that, you know what I mean? And it's as simple as that, but it's not, because if everybody just decided to not hate anybody in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. But it's too easy, man. It's too easy. You have individuals who are just stubborn as hell, who do not want to accept anything, anything. They don't want to accept it. If it's against anything that would make them feel inferior to, they don't want to do it. So, yeah. Not me.
I got you. Well, thank you for sharing your point of view, man. And hopefully your words will inspire even more people in the next generation. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. I mean, who knows? I always thought about that time capsule thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That
yeah.
time capsule, like, you know what I mean? Like, just it would be, it would be weird to put in some things that happened in life, like some pictures and some videos of some, during the protests and stuff, and putting it in a time capsule for like 100 years. You know what I mean? And somebody's going to open it and they can see, because who knows, all this shit's getting censored. Everything that's been going on is getting censored, man. You know what I mean? So, don't allow it to get swept under the rug. Let future generations know what the hell happened and why it happened. And, people didn't think police were killing folks too for a very long time until people start videoing them. You know what I mean? And the only reason why dude got convicted is, for George Floyd is because he was videotaped.
That's true.
If he didn't get videotaped, nothing would have happened.
Yeah.
So, I'm optimistic, but at the same time, I just know that, life's full of assholes and you can't please everybody and you can't expect everybody, to be nice to people. All you can do is go through your daily life with a smile and understand that people are going through shit too, and to understand that, I'm not the only one, not the only one. Other people are going through shit. So.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate you for being that kind of person, because we need more people like you out there who have that perspective. And I think you are, man. I think it, interacting with you kind of affirms to me that, that's the kind of energy we need. And like, so you're inspiring others around you as you interact with more folks that feel the same way you do. So don't forget about that. So.
Yeah, and I was just really quick. I always like, people always ask, what do you mean by that? That, understanding that people are going through shit, right? And so I'll give you an example. You're on the freeway. This guy cuts you off on the freeway. You get pissed off. You follow him. You flip him off, and you chasing him. And all of a sudden, right, this dude, you guys pull up, and you guys are at the hospital, and the dude gets out the car, and you cuss him out for cutting you off. But the reason why he cut you off is because one of his family members was just in a car accident, and they might be on life support. Or they might be, who knows? You have no idea. You know what I mean? The person's daughter or child might have been injured. You just don't know, right? I'm not, and that doesn't negate, all the assholes who are just, assholes just because.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that, if you look at it as if, I don't know what that person is going through, man. He really got to get there. You know what I mean? Or just to understand that, maybe you won't be so quick next time to be like, nah, you were just being an asshole. You know what I mean? Because then you cut that whole other part out. You don't never have to react to anything ever again. You could just go, you know what? They're going through some shit. You know what I mean? Something going on in their life, and they needed to do whatever it was they needed to do. They needed to get there or do whatever it was, So, yeah, man, just understand people are going through shit, man. And when you do, you're not going to be, upset for why people do things what they do.
For sure. And yeah, it's really for you, you carry that negative emotion. It's just affecting you. And it's not giving you any joy. It's not being a positive effect on your life. So if you go and choose that, it's really for you,
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we made it to the final stretch. But before we get to the concluding questions, you are familiar with mantras, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're making one on the show right now. I have a phrase for you that I want you to fill in. So I'll give it to you one by one. This first one is, I am blank.
Different but the same.
Sure. Second one is, I can blank.
Give the knowledge that I have to other individuals. without unrealistic expectations.
That last part's important.
Oh yeah, them unrealistic expectations, bro. Them things are treacherous, dude. Yeah, those are a crutch for a lot of people, bro. Yeah.
Damn, hit me in the heart right there. and this last one is I will blank.
I will do the best that I can. Actually, I don't want to say that. I will do, or wait, was it? I'm sorry. I will
blank. Yeah.
I will be the best version of myself every single day.
For sure, man. And if you ever need a reminder, now you got these sound clips of yourself, just giving you a reminder. But yeah. All right, here we go. Final stretch. This next question is actually from my previous guest. So shout out to Jack SF. And it kind of bodes well with what we were just talking about, about racism. His question for you is, have you experienced racism, and how did you handle it?
Now, to clarify, you mean as if somebody was being racist towards me?
Yeah.
For a white person to answer that, it's kind of awkward, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't take the same. No, but it doesn't take on the same, the same. I guess the same meaning, I guess. But I guess. I mean, I think that I don't even really want to say that it's like real racism though, because I mean, the definition of racism, came from, individuals being racist against African Americans, and I mean, to say that, I mean, yes, and other nationalities, that definitely, it's just different for me to think that somebody could be racist towards the racist individuals who started this shit. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I mean, yeah. I don't know, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I've had people, call me punk ass white boys and crackers, and but even then, it's I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it stings like, like if it was reversed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't sting like that. I mean, I can't say that I really have, and I think that it's weird because I thought about this. I think last year. I think I even have a conversation with somebody about this. Is that I wish that I could really experience someone hating me for my skin color, right? Mm-hmm. As white people do African Americans or Asians. And it's weird that I say that because I'm like, hey, people, no, you don't want that. And maybe I don't, but at the same time, that would open my eyes and my mind to the things that are happening to other individuals, because I can't say that I understand when somebody says, oh man, this person was being racist to me, or my landlord had his car vandalized, and bunch of stuff written on his car in the parking lot, and I couldn't say, man, I understand, man, that's I mean, I can't relate to that, you know what I mean? And that bothers me, because I want to be able to understand that. You know what I mean? I want to be able to understand the hurt and the anger that goes with being subjected to that, because then I think that, I mean, I think that I kind of sit there and say, hey man, people got a right to, feel the way they feel, but I don't really understand that feeling. And I don't think that I ever could. And it's true. You really can't. You know what I mean? I can't experience something that's been going on for over 400 years for the last that I've lived on this earth for 48. I can't. I've never experienced that. You know what I mean? You know, white people have been, you know, the ones looking down on people, you know, forever. You know, and I you know, it's just different. You know what I mean? It's just different to me, and I wish that I could understand that hurt and that pain and that anger and, you know, what goes on with that, because that would open my eyes to how people really feel, you know, about that, and to really kind of understand it, because I can't understand it. I can't. I could be upset and I can understand people being foul to each other, right? And, you know, being, you know, saying racist shit. You know, I can understand being disrespectful to somebody, but as far as like the deep meaning of you know, racism and having been subjected, you know, a whole people, right?
Yeah.
Not just 2 or 3 or a group or a couple thousand. We're talking generations. We're entire race of people. You know what I mean? And I can't understand that, you know, but I want to, and I understand that I will never. But I just, you know, I really wish I could, you know, just to be able to say that, yeah, I understand what you're saying, you know, because I can't. And it's a really awkward conversation to have with somebody as a white guy, right? Is when somebody's telling me about them being racist, you know, or somebody had a, you know, racist experience. You know, even my I have a really good friend from China, and her father was attacked in Oakland. He was one of the ones who was assaulted going into his apartment, and you know, she was telling me about it, and all I could say is, you know, yeah, you know, people are assholes, and, you know, this and that, but I just can't understand the, you know, the hate, you know what I mean? That's just deep down. I can't, and I wish that I could. So, yeah.
For sure, man. I think that was an important answer that you gave, because, you know, other people would take it differently, but I think your perspective is definitely valuable for everyone to hear. Yeah, man, there's a lot of situations that I will never understand either, right? And it's heartbreaking for us just because it's like we want to understand and we want to like make that connection and, you know,
for those of us that want to, for those of us who say that, you look, I want to understand. There's some of us that really do, right? I mean, I'm gonna give you one last example. Listen to this. I was in City College. I was in a cultural dimensions class, right? And during that class, we were asked by the professor, define what your definition of cultural humility is. So when it came to me, right, I said that I don't have a definition of cultural humility because me personally, white people don't know how to be humble, right? We've taken everything and we've been on a pedestal from day one, looking down on everybody, and we don't know how to be humble. There's no cultural humility within, you know, within whites. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying as a generational thing. I'm not saying like just, you know, as a definite complete answer. I'm just saying the majority of, you know, white culture, you don't know how to be humble because you think that everything is handed to you on a silver fucking platter, right? You don't really, you know, yeah, you do got to work or whatever, but I mean, but the things that white people are afforded, taken for granted. We didn't understand why we were afforded those things. It's because we were white. You know what I mean? I mean, it is what it is, and it sucks. It fucking sucks. But I just think that, you know, I just don't think that there's cultural humility within, you know, within a white race. And literally every single white student in that class fucking, what do you mean? That, rah, rah, rah. Man, they tried to go in on me, right? And it was funny because the professor actually shut him down, and someone said, look, man, let the dude have his fucking point. He actually just made his point right there, because every single person that said something in the class was white.
That's crazy.
Dude, he just proved your point. He just proved his point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just shut up after that, and it was really something, man, because and after he had said, look, man, he literally just proved what he had said. You're the only people. I mean, and we're not making it about race, but I'm just saying, let's just call it what it is. Let's say some facts. Every single person that said something was white. None of the Asians, none of the African Americans, none of the Hispanics. Nobody said nothing. It was only the white people that said something.
That's crazy.
So go figure. You know what I mean? So, you know, and it's weird, bro. It's weird how certain instances can really just like, you can't deny that. I mean, you know, they're eye openers, and hopefully that moment changed some people's hearts and the way that they think. But you know,
dude,
whatever.
I'm sure your teacher was pumped when.
Oh, dude, he was. Yeah, Jamie was the shit, bro. Hey, we still talk to this day, and he's an awesome individual, man. And yeah, he liked that. He actually, we were talking the other day, and he said, "Man, I remember that day you fucking stirred up class like it wasn't nothing. It was a hornet's nest in there." And I said, yep, because that's what I do. You know what I mean? I want people to be held accountable for the things that have happened. You know what I mean? And that continue to happen. People have to be held accountable. And at some point in time, you don't want to be held accountable, and you've never been held accountable. So then there has to be a learning point. And then maybe after that, you'll be like, damn, I can't deny that. I mean, I can't dispute it. So yeah.
Yo, bro, if I was in that class and I saw that all unfold, I'd probably be sitting there thinking that it was a setup between you and the professor, just to like, you know, because it worked out that perfectly. I'd be like, yo, damn, that was a good way to learn that lesson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was a really good moment, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, it was probably one of my greatest moments as an individual. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
that's what's up.
Definitely one of my top 3 right there. Yeah.
I almost want to know what one of the people who got shut down, like how they felt, because if that was like a glass-breaking movement.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right, 2 more questions for you, man. This next one is, what would you like to ask the next guest that comes down to 34 questions?
Oh man. The next guest, because I'm gonna watch the next one too after that. I want to know who's next, so I want to know what the answer is. So it's gonna have to be something that's like good. It can't just be some random question. What makes you unique?
What makes you
unique?
I gotcha. What makes you unique? Sorry, I just had to write it down. But for sure, man. I'll definitely deliver that message for you. We'll see who ends up with it. And my last question for you, man, the question that ties all these podcasts together is, you know, if this video was being watched by your grandchildren or your great-great-grandchildren, what would you like to tell them?
Man. Don't. I don't know, man. Jeez, that's a hard one. I probably would just want to tell them just be kind to one another. Understand that people are going through shit, and you're not the only one. You know, you're not the only one. Everybody's feelings are the same. Feelings don't change. The feelings are the same. Sadness is sadness. Anger is anger. Depression is depression. Happiness is happiness. You know what I mean? Frustration is whatever it is. The word, I mean, the word doesn't change. It's still the same. And it's kind of basically the same type of feeling. But the situations are different. You know what I mean? And that is where I think everything will make a difference, is if, like I said before, is that, you know, if we were to sit down, we walk by hundreds of people every day. Hundreds of people, and we do not know their names or their stories. But if we knew their names and we knew just a little bit about their struggle and about the things that they've been through, we would look at them in a different light. We wouldn't look at them as a stranger. And when you look at somebody as a stranger, you kind of tune them out. You know, you put blinders on. I don't know that person. I don't give a fuck. Right? But if you did know that person, you would give a fuck. Or at least, hopefully you would. You know what I mean? Especially if you had, you know, you heard that, you know, or you understood that they've been through some shit and they've been struggling too. Everybody is going through something. You're not the only one, and your story is unique only to yourself. Your story is not unique to anybody else. It's not special to anybody else. It's not the basis of anybody else's life. It is only yours and yours only. You know what I mean? So just don't be closed-minded. Don't be closed-minded, man. And don't be racist. But then again, my kids are half Hispanic, but you know what I mean? So, but whatever. But yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, don't hate people before you get to know them. You know what I mean? Don't just, I don't like that person because of something that they did, right? You might not like what they did, but that doesn't mean you don't have to like that you don't like the person. You know what I mean? Because we have friends that do shit every day that we don't agree with. You know what I mean? And family members too. You know, and you know, let them know that you don't condone that, but at the same time, don't hate people for superficial things that you think that you should hate them for. You know what I mean? So, or just because somebody else does, or your friends do, or whatever, because those aren't obviously your friends. You know, so that's it.
Yeah,
hold on 1 second. I got a door. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, go ahead.
What's up?
He says hi. Jan says hi.
All right, man. Any last things you want to add before we head out of here?
Nah, man. I'm really glad that we were able to sit down and like I said, we haven't seen each other in a while, man. But you know, we still run in the same circles and know all the same people still. So you know, it's good to see, you know, people that were in the cannabis industry doing other things besides that, right? And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but a lot of people, that's a lifelong thing, you know. And for some, it's a means to an end, you know. And I admire your means to the end, and I'm loving your journey at the same time, and I love witnessing somebody else's experience and their grind, and you know, the things that they're striving for, you know, because you know, I had dreams too at one point in time, but I wasn't able to fulfill those based on my own decisions that I did. But now I get to take, you know, pleasure in witnessing somebody else, you know, rise above whatever it is they're trying to rise above. So
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you for the kind words. I think I told you either in the beginning or off camera that I just thank you for understanding, man. Like, you've always been supportive with my shit. Even back then with Hella Hungry, you know, you copped some stuff. Hella Hungry, baby. Oh yeah, I still got them hats up in the damn thing. I didn't even realize that I actually forgot that I had them hats until I was like, I seen your beanie and I'm like, oh shit, I still got them hats. Yeah. The blue and gold, and there's another one, the blue and gold one I had. Yeah, you had the blue and gold. You had another one. I can't remember which colorway, but nah, man. Either one. When the season comes back, you know, I know you'll be rocking it. But like I said, man, thank you for being one of those folks that just understands what I'm trying to do, and I think that's rare in itself. But yeah. Thank you also to the folks out there who are either listening on Spotify, Apple Music, checking this on YouTube. Appreciate your time as well. If you liked it, please like it. If you loved it, go subscribe and share. Remember
hate it, I don't care. Comment.
Yeah.
I hated it. Fuck that guy. You know what I mean? It's all good. I don't care. I love it. I want it. You know what I mean?
It's all love. It's all love.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, remember to reach out, reach forward. As always, much love, and we'll catch you guys next time on 34 Questions. Peace.
Yee.
All right, man. Just rolling the credits like an after credit scene type thing.
All right.
But yeah, how was it? Any feedback from me?
I liked it, brother. I like it. Yeah, I wish we had more time, but you know, it's time flies when you get to talk in personal. You know what I mean? When somebody wants to know about you, you know what I mean, and is trying to understand you, it's not just an hour conversation. You know, people been living their whole lives, so it's a very long conversation.
That I set this up a lot based on like my experience as a dab tender at Urban Farm, man. Like, I wish I was doing some shit like this while I was dab tending out there. Can you imagine like all the stories from all the folks that would just like come by and, dude, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
No, talking about real shit is my jam, and you know, I think we always talked about real shit when you were coming through. So, you know,
absolutely, we did, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here and go see Dave.
Oh shit!
He's blowing me up. He's like, bro, I'm down here. Where you at?
Tell him I say what's up, and I'll catch you. We'll be in touch,
I will.
man.
I'll tell him.
All right,
yes,
man.
sir. I love you, brother.
Peace.
Peace.